Welcome to another video from EarnPed.com. I am Stevie B, happy to be with you all today. I finally made it back to planet Calypso after making my way around the universe. So, just wanted to shoot a quick video for you guys. By the time you guys see this video, Mayhem should be underway and in full effect. So, I'm going to try and pump out a couple more videos before then. That way you guys have content for the next couple of days as I get underway with Mayhem. So, I went all around the universe. I did not go to Entropia or Toulon, but I hit just about everywhere else, I believe. And I was able to pick up a couple things along the way, so I wanted to show off my findings for you guys. I'm so excited that everybody is finally pro plushie platform. I have been pro plushie platform since the beginning. I have always advocated for more plush, and now that it seems the developers and the planet partners are getting on board with me, we are finally going to have a proper amount of plush in game. So, super stoked for pro plushie platform. In fact, if we go to the Hall of Fame and we go to new items, we can see that somebody actually found the orange Macat Jelly Baby, value of 1 peck. Orange Macat Jelly Baby for their Jelly Baby plush collection. So congratulations to the person who discovered that. Kingu, Knox, Kingu. Never heard of you, but congratulations and big shout out from Stevie on your Hall of Fame for finding it and being the first one to get it. So, altogether it looks like Toulon has about 16 or 17 new plush, all of which are from hunting missions. Super awesome. We covered that in a previous video. And then, of course, there's a crossover mission from Next Island and Cyrene. So, I did that. I actually did it both ways. We'll get to that in a second. So, let me show off what I got. So, first of all, when I landed on Cyrene, I got holiday furniture coffee table as a Christmas gift. Now, it's a Christmas gift, quote-unquote, for depositors. So I believe depositors means anybody who's made a deposit in game in the past year, or anybody who owns any kinds of deeds or has any kind of share revenue. But I got holiday furniture coffee table. Now, obviously, it doesn't look super impressive just sitting here spinning. This is something that will go nicely in my apartment, though. And it's got kind of a candy cane look to it. If you look at the description, special furniture item was awarded to players who are depositors on Planet Cyrene for 2022. So as of right now, this is November 8th. This has already been being given away when you land. When you land, it just automatically pops up as soon as you land on Cyrene. Then I went to Dsec-9, and in Dsec-9, I was given this cool festive snow globe. Happy holidays from Planet Toulon. We hope you enjoy this festive snow globe. So I can't really make out what these are. They look like little round, like almost beach balls, almost like Dragon Balls. Half Dragon Ball, half something else, like a Canadian maple leaf maybe. And then some trees and some snow and my nice little snow globe. So that's pretty cool. So that was from the Monria / Toulon planet partner. Now I got this in Dsec-9. You can get it on Toulon also. I landed on Monria. I went to Dsec-9, and I just went to the very first teleporter in Dsec-9, like the one that you get when you very first open the map and go to Dsec-9 for the very first time. It's the one in the bottom left-hand corner, not Terminus, the very first one. And I spoke to the NPC that was literally to my right next to the building, the same one that you talked to the very first time you go into Dsec-9, and she gave me the snow globe. Like I said, you can get it on Planet Toulon also. I got mine on Dsec-9. She also gave me the Christmas mission for collecting crackers. So that doesn't start yet. You have to wait, I believe, until December 1st for the crackers to start dropping. As of right now, I have not heard of the crackers dropping from any mobs. But there is a mission to collect crackers on Monria, Dsec-9, and Toulon, and you turn those in, and there's some kind of an additional Christmas gift. Now, I don't know what it is. I do know that the mission requires you to get 500 crackers. So, I know that. So, you're probably going to have to do about 500 kills, maybe a little bit more. It's going to be a little bit of a challenge. So, those were the Christmas gifts that I was able to get. I didn't go to Entropia because I'm sure they don't have one. I was on Next Island. They will have Christmas gifts on Next Island. They just aren't giving them out yet. I went to Arcadia. I didn't get anything when I landed, so I don't know if they're going to do anything on Arcadia. But obviously I hit Cyrene, got the table, hit Monria, went to Dsec-9 and got the snow globe, which is the same as Toulon. So that about covers most of them. So that said, I went to Next Island. I did the crossover mission. So I went to Combat Outpost. I talked to Liz. I found the strange box outside the tent. You can find all this information for the Next Island Cyrene crossover mission on nihelper.com under the version update, where Kat puts all the information about the new version update and new missions. So I went to Combat Outpost, talked to Liz, went and found the odd box outside of the tent directly to her left, or my left, her right, I guess. The NPC's right, my left. When you go outside the tent where Liz is, it's the next tent over. There's only one way you can go. Found the odd box, went and talked to Liz again. She gave me this strange note found in a Risa tent. Now, it actually was found just outside, but she gave me this, and then the mission just kind of stops. It doesn't tell you anything, but if you click on the description here, joint mission note found on Next Island to be shown to Lieutenant Harris at Supply Depot on Cyrene. So that's the next step. So I jumped in my quad, I flew over to Cyrene, I landed, I went directly to the Supply Depot. Lieutenant Harris is literally right next to the teleporter. There's two NPCs next to the teleporter. One of them is Lieutenant Harris. And I clicked on him. He didn't actually take the note from me. Notice I've been allowed to keep the note, so it's just going in my collection of account-bound stuff. Cannot be traded, has no value when sold. So this is just going to go in my collection of account-bound stuff. And he essentially gave me two missions, and the one that I wanted to do was called like Stolen Goods or something like that. Anyway, it was essentially a waypoint mission. So I just had to bounce around to a whole bunch of waypoints all over Cyrene, and then return to Lieutenant Harris and just keep doing that. And eventually I finished. Now, I will be the first to say I actually did not have some of those teleporters, because I don't spend a lot of time on Cyrene, so that was actually helpful. There was not a ton. It was probably only like 6 or 7, maybe, and that may be overshooting. It might have been 5. There was one area that I thought was really, really cool on Cyrene that didn't seem to have a teleporter, which is odd because it looked super cool. It was like an inverted pyramid in the middle of a canyon with sidewalks moving to it. I actually had to try and land my quad on a sidewalk in the middle of this canyon where my quad could just fall off the side. It was really cool, but there was no teleporter there. As I was doing that, there was that secondary mission, because you can start it on Cyrene and do it backwards. You can start on Cyrene and finish it on Next Island. And I figured out that it was set up kind of like the beginning of the mission was on Next Island with Combat Outpost, with talking to Liz and then trying to find the box just outside the tent. So if you do the reverse, or if you do the secondary mission, if you start on Next Island and get both, or if you start on Cyrene, I guess, and do it the opposite way that I did, then you go to New Jonas or something like that, and as you're looking at the big giant estate, over to the far right hand side is a corner that it literally just makes a 45-degree hallway. So hallway, you go straight in and then straight right 45 degrees. And this particular one, out of the 4 possible, this particular one looks like it's full of trash, but a lot of the trash is interactive, and it will say, is this a clue? Is this a clue? Is this a clue? So you just click all of them. Well, once you do that, and you get like all 5, I believe, might be 3 or 5, one of the 2, you have one thing pop up that says find the final clue. Well, just like with the odd box being outside the Risa tent at Combat Outpost, as you're looking in that 45-degree hallway, clicking on all the little junk that says, is this a clue, is this a clue, is this a clue, if you back up and stand just outside the hallway and look kind of to your right, there's another interactive object kind of to your right, and you click on that one. That's the final clue. So you go back to the teleporter, go back to Lieutenant Harris. He actually gave me a second note that looked similar to this one, only it was a little bit white, whereas this one's tan, and it had bigger, blacker writing you still couldn't decipher than this one does. And it essentially said mission object or something like a quest object instead of strange note. And when you went to the information, it just said to be added. So I assumed that if you start on Cyrene and do it backwards, you go to New Jonas, whatever it's called, New Jonas, I believe it is. Go to that corner of the estate that you're looking at. It's a giant estate. Just go to the corner of it instead of going inside, and there's that 45-degree hallway. Click on all the stuff that looks like trash that says, is this a clue? Then back up out of the hallway, and look to your right, and there will be something laying on the ground that's also interactive. Click on that. That's the final clue. Go back to Lieutenant Harris. You'll get his version of this note, and then I'm assuming you take that to Next Island. I believe that's how people were getting 2 plushies. Whenever I did it, it did not let me get 2 plushies. It just kind of ended right then and there. So, that being said, after going through all that, doing all the waypoints, going back to Lieutenant Harris, I did get the plush. A Knight's First Deed felt/plush by Sir D.B. Kensington. It is account bound, cannot be traded, has no value when sold. So unfortunately, this is an account bound item, which for such a cool plush, you would really hope they wouldn't make it account bound. Check this out. It is a plushie of a Greek loripet, the same one that I have right here. My Esclararius, however you say it. So it's the Greek loripet made into a plush, riding on a Cyrene I plush. Now what's funny is I actually have a Cyrene I pet too. Now right now, sorry guys, I'm kind of stuffy. I know you're seeing it and it just looks like a plush, and you're like, okay, that isn't super impressive, it's a plush. Well, remember, I am super pro plushie platform, right? So I always believe that we can never have enough good plush, and this is a good plush. I mean, somebody put a lot of work and effort into making this. This is much more creative than a lot of the plush that we get. A lot of the plush that we get is just a mob in plush form, right? This actually took some creativity, and you can tell they put a little bit more detail into it, even with my graphics on low, than they do a lot of the other plushes. Here's what's cool. I've seen a picture. If you have an estate, like an apartment, it's the same thing as with the coffee table. In my apartment, I can actually set the coffee table down, and it looks a lot cooler than it does just sitting here spinning around in the little info box, right? Where else I can do a zoom in and zoom out. Whenever I can set it down in my apartment, it actually becomes 3D, right? So you can do the same thing with this plush. You can get it, and if you don't have an estate, you can just, you know, look at it in your window. Or you can actually go into your estate, into your apartment, and you can set this on the ground. You can set it on the table, and when you do, it literally just looks like a Greek loripet is riding a Cyrene I pet. And the way I know this is Bonnie, when she very first completed this mission like 2-3 days ago, and she got this plush, she didn't say that it was a plush. She just sat it down in front of her at her estate and took a screenshot and posted it to the Facebook group, and I thought she was literally standing there with a tamed Eret pet, with a tamed Greek pet, and somehow managed to get this one to ride this one. In fact, I even posted on Facebook, I was like, how in the world did you get your Greek lore pet to ride your other pet? And she actually messaged me and she was like, it's the new crossover plush. I just set it on the ground in my estate. So it looked so convincing that I really thought that they had changed the mechanics to allow one pet to ride another. So really, really cool plush. Really cool, I guess, easy crossover mission, because it's free to do. I mean, all you gotta do is hit a couple of waypoints and fly from one planet to another, hit another couple of waypoints. So even brand new low depot and free-to-play players can do it. Now, like I said, I do hate it that it is account bound, but it will look super, super cool in my apartment. So I'm going to kind of leave it at that for today, because I just wanted to kind of go over what the Christmas gifts were that I got, where I got them. Obviously one from Cyrene, one from Toulon, but I got it on Dsec-9. Also want to tell you guys a little bit more about how it actually went in going through the crossover mission between Next Island and Cyrene, and then actually show you guys the new plush from the crossover mission, and also tell you that even though it doesn't look super duper impressive, just looking at the item info box, if you actually have an estate and you can actually set it in the estate, it looks way, way cooler. There'll be a lot of people that if you can get them into your estate will go, bro, how'd you get one pet to ride the other pet? That's pretty sweet, because that was my first reaction as soon as I saw Bonnie's screenshot. So, that being said, we also have the 17, 16, something like that, new plush that you can get from Toulon doing all the hunting missions. Obviously, I don't have time to do that. We have Merry Mayhem that's getting ready to start in about 48 hours now, and I have to finish gearing up for that. I've got pretty much everything in place that I need in place. I've just got to kind of make some final touches, and then I'll be off to the races with Merry Mayhem 2022. And I will be doing Merry Mayhem from November 30th, 2022, all the way until January 10th, 2023. So I will be bringing in the new year with Merry Mayhem. So I'm going to try and get some content pumped out for you guys before then. I will pump out some content while I'm in the Mayhem instance. I just might have to be in the instance talking about something not in the instance. So those are kind of the basic Christmas gifts. Like I said, I haven't gotten any from Planet Calypso yet. I was not able to get the ones from Next Island yet just because they haven't started giving them away. Same with Calypso. And I didn't go to Entropia because I just figured they're not going to have one. Arcadia didn't give one. That doesn't mean they're not going to. It just wasn't being given away while I was there. But we do know Cyrene and Toulon so far, so good news there. And if I can somehow pull it off, I might try and get my hands on 500 of those Christmas crackers to get the additional Toulon Christmas gift. I just really don't want to take any time away from Mayhem that I don't have to. So that being said, I'm going to leave it there for today. Hit that subscribe button every single time we have a subscriber to the channel. It means a tremendous amount to us. I see the metrics. I know how many people are subscribed to the channel versus how many people watch the channel. There are a ton of you guys that are not subscribed, and it makes a big difference because it affects our reach. It affects how many people have never heard of Entropia but play similar games that YouTube will show us to. So it's not just good for us, it's good for the game. It's good for the economy and the longevity of the game when you guys subscribe, and we really appreciate it. Also hit that bell icon to get all those notifications when we do post new content, and be sure and hit that like button because there's always a hater waiting to hit that dislike button. Head over to earnped.com because when you earn, we earn. That is by far the best way you guys can help us out, and we'll be back with more content for you guys later this week. Take care, Stevies.